Good evening, everybody. Buenas noches and welcome to D.C., our nation's capital and the center of power. Es lo que dicen. In our country. I appreciate your support of LULAC and your friendship. It means a lot to me, our national board, and everyone who proudly carries the name LULAC in their blood, and that you are here tonight. So I would like for our national board members, and I understand we're having a meeting tomorrow, there's about 30 of them here. But anyway, those that are here tonight in the house, will you please stand up? Our national board members, state directors, national board members. Yes. Thank you, board members. Let me tell you, when you're on a board, you can't do much stuff unless you have the approval of the board, okay? So we have a great group with us, and that's why we have been able to do the things that we do the last 3 or 4 months, okay? So thank you, board. It is an honor for me to stand before you tonight, not just as a speaker, but as someone who has spent a lifetime in service to my country, my community, and most importantly to the people who call this great nation home. I am a Marine, a lot of folks know that. Hoorah! And that is a lifelong statement. Once we serve in that uniform, our commitment to our country is forever. I understand firsthand what our service members experience, both during active duty and as veterans. That is why my dedication to them is not just professional, it is deeply personal. This commitment is even stronger for those brave servicemen and women who now find themselves living outside of the very country they defended and served with honor. This is wrong, and I have made it my personal mission to keep fighting until every one of them is brought home. Beyond my military service, I have also spent 40 years as a federal executive. Boy, if I was serving now, they'd probably run me out of here, you know. Proudly and faithfully serving at the Department of Housing and Urban Development, the Veterans Administration, and also for the Department of Defense. My duty, the last 30 years of my federal service was with the Department of HUD, so my duty was not just to a government of housing projects and the tens of thousands of Americans, men and women and children who depend on public housing as a safe shelter for themselves and their families. I have seen firsthand the struggles, the perseverance, and the hope of those who simply want a chance at a better life. And above all else, I'm a proud husband, father, and grandfather. My family has been my anchor, my source of strength, and I owe them a great deal. They have made sacrifices too, sacrifices that allowed me to dedicate decades of my life to serving my community, a community I love and respect. This is why I am here tonight, not for myself, but for all of you, to stand as your servant leader, to listen, to fight, and to ensure that no one is forgotten. My wife, Mary, where are you? My wife, Mary, and I recognize how important this moment is in our history. We are gathering here to celebrate our proud past and to focus on the future. This is when we need unity, everyone working together. We share a purpose and a mission to serve others, and we stand on the shoulders of those who came before us as we carry forward the fight. For nearly 100 years, LULAC members have been the leading voices for Latino civil rights. We helped advance the Voting Rights Act. We defended bilingual education. And we also secured critical protection for all our workers. We have stood with our seniors, women, and the LGBTQ community. And we support our Latino families so their children have access to quality education and the health care that they need. Our history is one of never giving up. Our victories have been won by sticking together, and our battles have reminded others of what we stand for as a nation. But my friends, we find ourselves at a crossroads tonight. The very foundation of our progress is under attack. Decades of hard-won civil rights and social protections are facing destruction before our eyes. Here are the facts. The Department of Education is being gutted. The proposed federal cuts slash over $3.7 billion from K through 12 education programs that disproportionately serve Latino and Black communities. Healthcare, our most vulnerable, are at risk. Proposed legislation threatens to cut Medicaid and Medicare by nearly $1.5 trillion over the next decade, affecting millions in our community. Immigration reform, including DACA and TPS, is being dismantled. This is affecting the futures of nearly 700,000 dreamers and 400,000 TPS holders. Many have lived in this country for decades, working and contributing their best. Also, environmental protections are being rolled back. Despite the disproportionate impact of climate change and pollution on Latino communities, more than 68% of Latinos live in areas that fail federal air quality standards, making us the most affected demographic in the country. So LULAC was founded in 1929 by visionaries who knew that divided, we would be ignored, but united, we would be unstoppable. Today, as we face unprecedented threats to our civil rights, we must draw strength from their example. This is not the first time we have been told to sit down and accept less. Now it is our turn to rise one more time. We helped, here we go, number 4. Okay, so our LULAC councils must mobilize, our allies must join us, and we're getting a lot of partners out there, and our voices must be heard in every state house, every courthouse, and in every ballot box in America. We cannot afford to be silent. We must lead. As we look ahead to LULAC's 100th anniversary, let us recommit ourselves to the principles that make us who we are: justice, equity, and unbreakable unity. The road ahead will not be easy, but neither was the journey that brought us here. Let history write about this time. When the moment called for action, LULAC answered. When our rights were on the line, we stood together, not as individuals, but as one united force. And when facing the most challenging times, we did not quit. We pushed forward. Together, we will protect our families, Together we will defend our rights. Together we will make sure that the next century of LULAC is even stronger than the last. Que viva LULAC, viva nuestra comunidad. Adelante con LULAC. Thank you.